to be the big sister she always wanted.
Let's start at episode 4 and work our way up to the trauma. How about that? Okay. Oh, so many emotions. I had the privilege of watching this early. I got screeners, and so I was able to watch this beforehand. So I have been sitting on the trauma that is episode 4, 5, and whatever the heck 6 is, that Emmy-winning episode. Jesus, just take it. Just take it. It's yours. Okay, starting at episode 4. There's clearly a time jump that has happened, but I wish we knew. It's at bar minimum, it's been months. I don't know if it's been a full year yet, but I'd be really interested to talk to the creators and figure out what the time jump is, because we've seen these people. I mean, just given, I'm going to jump forward a little bit, but just given the length of Victor's hair in episode 6, seeing the length of Victor's hair in episode 6, there has been a significant time jump. So at least I'm going to throw out 6 to 8 months, especially given the relationship between Mel and Caitlyn. They've really fostered a new identity. We're now seeing that there are riots, and there has clearly been a new kind of an order to how the Piltover Guard has established. They've got gates up, they've got new security protocols. It's enough time for half of Zaun to have painted their hair blue. There's clearly been enough time for a deep-seated rebellion to have planted itself both in Zaun and for the Piltover side to start taking action to this. So a significant time jump has happened. We're seeing that they are not only cleaning the streets, but it almost seems like a martial law, or rather Caitlyn's law. And Caitlyn is she's not messing around at this point. It's scary. It's scary how I'm thinking of the Caitlyn we saw from episode 5, that little like vampiric style outfit, like this very vampiric looking appearance to her. She's gone off the deep end. She has lost. I'm wondering, I wish they had a scene where we could have seen how her father is taking it, but I feel like at this point, Daddy's done. I don't know that we're ever going to see Daddy again in this. Maybe he's off. She secluded him somewhere so that he could stay safe. But it's beautiful to see how the outside world is and how scary and just this martial law and this dictatorship. But then we go a little more internal and we see Jinx and Isha and how their relationship is finally developing. And she's now getting to be, like I said earlier, the big sister that she's always wanted. And we saw in episode 3 when Isha was protecting her that even then, Jinx hadn't really fully grasped Isha. She was trying to, when Isha was saving her, she was physically trying to get her off of her. Like, what are you doing? I don't understand. But for us to see by the end of this episode, all of these people who are so inspired and uplifted, she's a hero at this point, seeing all of these people reach out and touch her and acknowledge her as not just a leader, because I don't think she ever really becomes a leader to these people, but she is the inspiration, the spark of the flame. She is the motivation. She's the symbol. She's the symbol of this rebellion, and she's a symbol of hope for the future. And that's, I mean, heck, it's November. On November 5th, I was watching V for Vendetta, and that's the thing. A man can die, but a symbol lasts forever. And that is what Jinx represents to Zaun. She represents a symbol for equality and a better world. You know, equality is one thing, but just better than what they have now, you know. And it's so interesting because we've got the rebellion of Jinx, but we also have Victor from episode end of 5 into 6. We see him having his own little culty revolution over in the corner, how he's healing these people and showing them that there's a positive side to the arcane. Whereas the Piltover guards are using the arcane and the hex tech and the magic to enforce this dictatorship, this martial law, this aggression. There is a positive side to arcane, or at least how Victor describes it, a positive side to the arcane as well. It can heal. It even brought the Chancellor's legs back. This is a man who lost his legs during, if we're even going to take it even further, during Jinx's boom bomb that set off, you know, her big shark bomb that she set off at the counselor's table while they're all negotiating what to do with Zaun. And now, you know, this Chancellor who lost his leg during that assault has his legs back thanks to the cult that is Victor. So there's so many different factions that are going on. There are 3 triangles that are trying to better Zaun, Piltover, you know, everything. So it's interesting, and I'm curious to know where you guys fall. I mean, obviously, if anyone agrees with the hoe that is Caitlyn, she's a hoe. And I was gonna wait a little bit, but I'm gonna get to it now. Caitlyn is a hoe. And if you agree with her, get off my page. Don't, because we do not stand a ship breaker, a shipwrecker in this house. A ship, ooh, she's sinking ships left and right. The way that she is a hoe, I cannot even. And what sucks is in my act 1, I was like, ooh, Maggie, I love you, girl. You represent innocence. She was in there. Maggie was the first one beating her chest on episode 3. Whew, she's a villain. Both of them are. No, Maggie's not a villain to me. She just wants to support her boss. So I have no doubt in my mind that Caitlyn was the one that initiated that. I have no doubt in my mind that she just wanted someone to comfort her. But because I gotta jump to episode 6 really quick while I'm on talking about this subject. But for her, because I know half of y'all are gonna watch this and be like, but she switched sides in episode 6. No, that makes it so much worse. The fact that she has been with, because again, time lapse, there's been time going by. I can assume that this is not a new relationship, Maggie and Caitlyn. So for her to see Vi after all this time, and first of all, I gotta finish one thought and get to the other. But for her to see Vi in episode 6 and immediately be like, yes, bae, I'm on your side. But for her to see Vi in episode 6 after all of this time and immediately be like, yes, I am back to helping you. Absolutely. No! And everyone's like, yes, our ship is sailing again. No, it just goes to prove what a hoe, an unloyal hoe Caitlyn is, because she's already with Maggie. She's with Maggie. And the second that she sees Vi, she's switching sides again. No, this is not who we root for. Caitlyn is out. Caitlyn is out. And I swear, Arcane, if you bring them together again, Caitlyn is not it. Caitlyn is not the one for Vi. We wanted it. We got our kiss. But Caitlyn is not the same person. Caitlyn she's too switchy. She switches back and forth. She doesn't know who she is, and she's gonna bring Vi down. Anyway, also on the scale of Vi, it is hilarious to me that Vi was in prison for 7 years, but 1 week with a woman and she turned emo. 1 week with Caitlyn. That's how toxic Caitlyn is. 1 week with Caitlyn, and you got Vi dyeing her hair and listening to My Chemical Romance. That is insane. 7 years in prison couldn't break her, but one confused lesbian could. One vampiric dictatorship lesbian could change her. God, I hate Caitlyn. I probably don't. I'm sure Caitlyn's gonna do something that's gonna redeem herself, but in this moment, in this act, we don't stand Caitlyn. That was a long rant. I'm so sorry, y'all. Let's get back to the plot. So, going back to Jinx and Isha, this beautiful relationship, this beautiful symbol of what could be, of innocence, of sisterhood. We get to see that come to fruition. We get to see that Jinx is finally getting to show the world and show Isha kindness. She's been in such an isolation and depression and just fear. Like she grew up thinking that violence and chaos was the way to earn affection. Growing up with Silco, she was always taught that her violence and her chaos was a symbol of strength, was a way for her to stay strong and to guard herself. But it's so beautiful that now we get to see a softer side of Jinx. We get to see her, and there's a beautiful line that she says while she's finishing up with Aisha's hair as she's changing her hair blue in episode 5. We get to see her really be vulnerable and say, you know, you're lucky. I didn't get to do this kind of stuff with my sister. There's a yearning there. There's a passion there. And later on in that episode, when we see them walking in the caves, when they're doing the clapping, Vi accidentally hurts Isha, and not only does Jinx immediately run up and try to help her in the way, it's not like she comforts her, but she does the comforting in her way. You got all your organs still intact. It's still a softness that it is a softness that Jinx is getting used to. But if you notice, Vi clocks that and she sees it. She sees the vulnerability, the softness, the sisterhood. And there's a slight tinge, at least for me, I saw a slight little tinge of, oh, that could have been us. That should be us. And yet here we are fighting each other. It's just, this is such a deep and complex show, and I love it. I'm eating it up. We also get to see the family coming together in a weird, monstrous way. You know, we've got Vander back. Finally, this half-wolf, monstrous Vander, the werewolf of it all. We get to see the family coming together, and it's the love. It's the love of this family that brings him back from the brink of beasthood, if you will. It's him loving these children, and we get to see a beautiful backstory while Victor is trying to heal him. We see that all along that it wasn't just Silco that was supposed to raise Jinx, and it wasn't just Vander that was supposed to raise Vi. It was both of them together. The girl's mother chose both of them. They were all friends, and it was supposed to be both of them. And it just, if you're taking that back to Act 1, when Powder runs up to Silco and Silco doesn't hurt her, he embraces her. It's beautiful. This is a full circle moment that he has a chance to raise these girls, and he doesn't hesitate. Silco sees that the daughter of someone that he cared about is in trouble, and he does not hesitate to raise her and to take her into the fold. And I love that full circle moment, and I feel like we needed this. As audience members, we needed to understand a little bit deeper as to why Silco picked her up and helped her. It wasn't just because he saw her as a weapon, it was because he promised their mother that he would take care of them, both of them. And they continue to this day to try to make sure that these girls are safe. And I think that is so beautiful. We also got to see Jace. Ooh, where's Heimerdinger? This whole 3 episodes, we did not see Heimerdinger. He's just floating. He's just floating in the void, floating in the arcane, just living his little Heimerdinger life. Hopefully, if he's still okay. I don't know what's going on in there, but at this point, I just need to know that Heimerdinger is okay. Is it that Jace was just a little bit stronger, or is it that the corruption chose Jace as the vessel by which it would bring back everything that, because I feel like what Jace is doing is he's taking, like Singed said, he said, you know, or not, was it Singed? It might have been Singed, who said that it had a shelf life. All of this arcane that he's using has a shelf life. And so for me, I feel like Jace is another side of the arcane who wants that power back. And so here he is about to destroy everything that Victor has built up, and I'm ready for it. Until it takes away my baby, I was ready until Isha. Let's talk about it. Let's get to the episode 6, y'all. Let's talk about it. I loved. Here's the thing. When I was watching this, I kept seeing the little, like, it almost looked like the void. Let's just say it. Let's call it what it is. It looked like the void, and I kept seeing that over and over, and kept seeing the little gear that was falling. And so in my mind, I was like, "This is the void. This is the void." I was making people upset with how much I was like, "Yeah, it's the void. It's the void. It's the void." But to know it wasn't. It is and it isn't. I still think that it is a representation of the void. However, to know for fact that it wasn't just the void, it was the future. It was the future that Victor was seeing, and he knew. And of course, this is not the end of Victor. If you know, you know. This is not the end of Victor. This is only the beginning. But to see that Victor was seeing his end over and over and over again. And we saw it when the gear fell into the water. Everything was leading us, like the butterfly effect, everything was leading us to the end of Victor and everything that he had built up, and him healing Vander only for Vander to become the demise of the one thing that Jinx cared about more than anything. Why Arcane? Why are you doing this to us? Like, I know why, because you want the Emmy, and because you spent 2 years building this beautiful story, and huzzah, man, you did it. You built a great story. You gave us characters that are so deep and personal, not only to themselves, but to us, and it was just everything we needed. I had such a good cry watching this, seeing that, and there's a whole video out there that I did of the significance of Isha. If you want more details on that, if you want more details on the background of Singed and Singed's daughter, please check out this video that Stella did. It's absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to be having so many more Arcane videos as they come out, but those are 2 videos. If you want more details on Isha and Singed, I would recommend you check out both of those videos. Man, Caitlyn's a hoe. I think those are the big points. Caitlyn's a hoe. R.I.P. Isha. My heart for this episode. And just to see, I mean, if anything, that moment proved how important Isha is to Jinx. And at this point, Jinx has only 2 ways to go. This could cripple her emotionally and mentally to the point where there isn't even Jinx anymore. There's just a third chaotic level beyond Jinx that there is no return from. It's just devastation, chaos, and angst. Or she'll use Aisha's death as a means to find a deeper vulnerability. Something will crack in her in a positive way that says, if I can care once, I can care again. I don't know if it's gonna do that. That feels like an even harder journey for her to get to, but hopefully now that her and Vi have bridged some sort of a gap, maybe. But I mean, Vi was the one that held her back from saving Isha, so I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a discord about that as well. I'm just excited, y'all. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen with this. After I watch it several more times, I have a really good cry, because when I tell you, just buckets. That was ugly. I was so ugly watching this. Anyway, guys, I want to know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about this episode. Where do you think it could go from here? I don't know. I feel like it needs to end. It should have ended on the 5th episode. I feel like after episode 5, we were good. We were done. We should not have gone beyond episode 5, but here we are with 3 more episodes left, and then the series ends. And that's it. Make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe. I really want to hear your thoughts about this. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys for the end of Arcane Act 3, Season 2. Hasta pasta, friends.